Rain poured heavily on the rusty zinc roofs of the small village of Umuaka. The roads were muddy, children ran barefoot through puddles, and smoke rose from tiny kitchens where women cooked watery soup for their families. Inside a tiny hut at the edge of the village lived a young girl named Amora. Amora was 19 years old. Beautiful, intelligent, full of dreams bigger than the village she lived in. But poverty had wrapped itself around her family like chains. Her father, once a strong farmer, had become weak after years of sickness. Her mother sold roasted corn beside the dusty roadside under the burning sun. Every night, Amora would sit outside their hut staring at the stars. "I will leave this village one day," she always whispered to herself. "I will become somebody." She loved fashion design and dreamed of opening the biggest fashion house in the city. But dreams were expensive. And poor people were not allowed to dream too loudly. One evening, while helping her mother arrange roasted corn, Amora saw her father coughing blood inside the hut. Fear gripped her heart. Her mother wiped tears secretly. "We have no money for hospital treatment," her mother whispered painfully. That night changed everything. Amora made a decision. She would travel to the city. No matter what happened. No matter the cost. The next morning, the village motor park was noisy and crowded. Old buses released dark smoke into the air. Traders shouted. Passengers argued. Amora stood beside her mother carrying one small bag containing only clothes and a notebook filled with fashion sketches. Her mother held her tightly. "The city is not kind," her mother warned. "Promise me you will protect yourself." Amora forced a smile. "I will make you proud, Mama." Her father could barely stand. He pressed an old silver necklace into her hand. "This belonged to your grandmother," he said weakly. "Never forget who you are." Tears filled Amora's eyes as the bus drove away. She watched her village disappear slowly behind clouds of dust. She did not know that the city she dreamed about was waiting to test her soul. Lagos was loud. Massive buildings touched the sky. Bright lights decorated the streets. Luxury cars moved like flowing rivers. Music blasted from clubs. The city looked alive. But beneath the beauty was danger. Amora arrived at Oshodi with confusion in her eyes. People pushed past her. Street boys shouted aggressively. Someone almost snatched her bag. Fear swallowed her confidence. She called the only person she knew in Lagos, her childhood friend, Ngozi. But Ngozi no longer lived there. Amora was alone. Completely alone. Night approached quickly. Hungry and exhausted, she sat near a roadside restaurant. Then she met a woman named Mama Busy. Mama Busy sold food and noticed the fear in Amora's eyes. "You are new here," she said gently. Amora nodded. Mama Busy allowed her to sleep in a tiny storage room behind her food stall. For the first time since arriving, Amora felt safe. But safety in Lagos never lasted long. Weeks passed. Amora searched endlessly for jobs. Everywhere she went, people demanded experience. Or connections. Or money. Things she did not have. Her savings finished quickly. Sometimes she slept hungry. Sometimes she cried silently at night. One afternoon, she entered a fashion company hoping to get work as an assistant. That was where she met Chief Raymond Ko. A wealthy businessman. Powerful. Elegant. Dangerous. Chief Raymond owned fashion brands, hotels, clubs, and real estate across the city. He was respected publicly. But privately, many feared him. He stared at Amora carefully. "You are talented," he said after seeing her sketches. Amora's heart raced with hope. Finally, someone noticed her. "I can help you," Chief Raymond continued slowly. "Really?" she asked excitedly. He smiled. "But nothing comes free in Lagos. His eyes changed. The room suddenly felt cold. I can give you a house, money, connections, and make you a star. He moved closer. All I want is you. Amara froze. She understood immediately. The opportunity she prayed for came with a terrible price. That night, Amara could not sleep. Rain beat against the roof while her thoughts battled inside her mind. Her father needed treatment. Her mother suffered daily. Poverty chased her endlessly. And now one man could change everything overnight. But at what cost? Mama Busy noticed her silence. What troubles you? Amara explained everything. Mama Busy sighed deeply. The city will tempt you, she warned. Some doors shine brightly but lead into darkness. But what if this is my only chance? Amara whispered. Mama Busy looked directly into her eyes. Never sell the pieces of yourself you cannot buy back. Those words stayed in Amara's mind all night. But hunger has a powerful voice. And desperation can weaken even strong people. Days later, Amara accepted Chief Raymond's offer. Her life changed immediately. A luxury apartment. Expensive clothes. Money. Fine restaurants. VIP parties. For the first time in her life, she tasted wealth. She sent money home. Her father received treatment. Her mother cried tears of gratitude. Amara finally felt successful. But slowly, she realized she was trapped. Chief Raymond controlled everything. Who she spoke to. Where she went. What she wore. He became possessive. Obsessive. Dangerous. At parties, rich men stared at her like property. Women whispered insults behind her back. Online blogs called her the billionaire's newest toy. Amara smiled publicly. But privately, she was dying inside. One night, while staring at herself in a giant mirror, she barely recognized the girl from Umwaka village. The dreams were still alive. But her soul was tired. One evening, Chief Raymond hosted a private party in his mansion. Politicians. Celebrities. Businessmen. Powerful people. Everything looked glamorous. But Amara noticed something strange. Several young girls entered a hidden section of the mansion and never returned to the main hall. Curiosity pushed her forward. She secretly followed one of the guards. What she discovered shocked her. Behind the luxury was darkness. Young girls were being exploited by wealthy men. Some cried silently. Some looked drugged. Some looked hopeless. Amara's heart pounded with fear. Chief Raymond was not just controlling women. He was destroying lives. Suddenly, a hand grabbed her arm. It was Chief Raymond. His face was cold, spread through her body. You belong to me now, he whispered dangerously. And nobody leaves me. That night, Amara packed secretly. Her hands shook violently. She knew she had to escape. But escaping powerful men in Lagos was dangerous. Very dangerous. She called Mama Busy for help. Mama Busy contacted an old journalist named David Lawson. David was fearless and known for exposing corruption. When Amara met him, she told him everything. At first, he struggled to believe her. But she had evidence. Photos. Videos. Recordings. Enough to destroy Chief Raymond completely. David realized her life was now in danger. You cannot go back there, he warned. Meanwhile, Chief Raymond discovered Amara had disappeared. His anger exploded. She knows too much, he growled. Find her. Suddenly, Amara became haunted. Black SUVs followed her. Unknown numbers called her phone. Someone broke into Mama Busy's restaurant. Fear surrounded them. But David refused to back down. We expose him, he said firmly. No matter the cost. David released the investigation online. The story spread across Nigeria like wildfire. Television stations exploded with headlines. Social media erupted. More victims came forward. The nation was shocked. Chief Raymond denied everything publicly. But the evidence was overwhelming. Police raided his properties. Secret rooms were discovered. Hidden documents surfaced. Money laundering. Human trafficking. Bribery. His empire began collapsing. But dangerous men never fall quietly. One night, while driving through the city, David and Amora were attacked. Gunshots shattered the silence. Cars crashed violently. Amora screamed. David fought desperately to protect her. The chase through rainy Lagos streets felt like a nightmare. Finally, police intercepted the attackers. Chief Raymond was arrested days later while attempting to flee the country. The media celebrated Amora's bravery. But inside her heart, the scars remained. She had survived. But survival changes people forever. Months passed. Life slowly became peaceful again. Amora refused to let her painful past destroy her future. Using her talent genuinely for the first time, she began designing clothes again. Simple designs. Beautiful designs inspired by village life and African culture. People loved her work. Her story inspired millions of young women. She became a symbol of courage. Not because she never fell, but because she stood up again. David supported her through everything. Not with money. Not with control. But with respect. Real love slowly grew between them. One afternoon, Amora returned to Umuaka village. Children gathered around excitedly. Her mother cried tears of joy. Her father, now healthier, smiled proudly. Amora looked around the village carefully. Then she announced something shocking. "I'm building a free fashion school here." The villagers erupted with happiness. Finally, her dream had become bigger than herself. Years later, Amora stood inside the grand opening of a fashion empire called Amora House. Bright lights filled the massive hall. Journalists took photos. Celebrities attended. But Amora's eyes focused on one thing. A little village girl standing quietly near the entrance. The girl looked exactly like the younger version of herself. Nervous. Poor. Hopeful. Amora walked toward her gently. "What is your dream?" she asked. The little girl smiled shyly. "I want to become a designer." Amora smiled warmly. Then never stopped believing. As music played and cameras flashed, Amora looked through the giant glass windows at the city skyline. The same city that once tried to break her. The same city that taught her painful lessons. She finally understood something important. Dreams are powerful. But no dream is worth losing yourself for. And sometimes, the greatest victory is surviving without becoming what hurt you. Late at night, Amora sat alone in her office overlooking Lagos. Rain fell softly outside. She held her father's old silver necklace tightly. The journey had changed her forever. The village girl who once arrived in Lagos afraid and hungry had become a woman of strength. Not because life was easy, but because she refused to let darkness define her destiny. Outside, the city lights glowed endlessly. And somewhere in the distance, another dreamer was arriving in Lagos for the first time. Full of hope. Full of fear. Searching for a better life. Just like Amora once did.